Alex and Reckless just won the FNCS Major 1 Grand Finals. A pro player got swatted 3 times during the tournament and still finished in the top 3. Pro players have been accused of match fixing with screenshots shared publicly. And the top 3 are all heading to a LAN in Germany with $200,000 on the line. Here's how the whole weekend went down. To understand what was at stake this weekend, you need to know about the summit. The FNCS Major 1 Summit is a LAN in Dusseldorf, Germany, where every region sends their best. 100 players, 12 games, $200,000 to the winners. The top 5 also qualify for the FNCS Global Championship. OCE gets 3 spots, 3 duos from the entire region. This is what every team was fighting for across these 2 days. Before a single game was played, drop maps already set the tone for how this weekend was going to go. The north side was completely stacked. Storm Station, Latte Landing, Frigid Fortress, and teams landing on top of each other with nowhere to breathe. The south had way more room. Teams like Hounds and Trot FV, Resigns and Tinker, Mace and Mace all had clean spots to land with space to farm and play their own game. Where you chose to land mattered all weekend long. Right from game 1, the chaos started. Nico and Brewski, a team sitting low on the leaderboard coming in, landed on Kazi and Aspect at Storm Station, and the fight just would not end. It dragged on way longer than it needed to. The split hit, they separated, and instead of resetting, they found each other again and kept going. Both teams burned through mats, burned time, and came out with nothing to show for it. Hounds and Trot had also found them in the early game, dealing 586 damage to Sequel and Brewski, who could only manage 116 back. Meanwhile, Phasma and Crusades were doing exactly what good teams do in game 1, first place. 8 elims and 22 minutes alive. They look like the best team in the lobby. Alex and Reckless sat 23rd with 1 elim. Nothing to suggest what's coming. Game 2, Phasma kept rolling. Back-to-back wins, 6 more elims, 14 combined elims across the first 2 games. They were running this lobby. Alex crept up to 12th with 3 elims, quietly building momentum. JX and Zatos sat 38th on the leaderboard with 0 elims. 2 completely dead games to open up the grand finals with everything on the line. Game 3 is where things started to shift. JX and Zatos, who contributed nothing through the first 2 games, went out and finished 2nd with 12 elims, best single game of the entire event by any team, out of nowhere. Vazen and Bulldogs put together a 4th with 7 elims, sitting quietly inside the top 3 on the leaderboard all day, while nobody was really paying attention to them. Alex and Reckless moved up to 13th with 5 elims, climbing every single game. Phasma was still leading, but the gap was thinning. Then game 4 happened. Everything changed. Alex and Reckless won it. First place, 10 elims, 22 minutes alive. And right as that happened, Phasma had the worst game of the day, finishing 7th with just 3 elims. The leaderboard flipped. Mace and Mace also won game 4 with 7 elims. 2 winners in 1 game. With points flying everywhere after 4 games, the standings looks nothing like they did when the game started. Vazen and Bulldogs took game 5 quietly, 2nd win of the day. 4 elims, doing it while everyone else was focused on Alex and Phasma. Alex and Reckless backed it up with a 4th and 8 elims. And then there was Phasma, 44th place. 5 minutes and 39 seconds alive, 2 elims. Gone before most teams even had a chance to fight. Back-to-back collapses at the end of the day, everything they had built was gone. Resigns and Tinker closed day 1 with 2nd place and 6 elims. No wins on the day, but Tinker was in fights every single game, something that would show up in the stats at the end of the weekend. Alex and Reckless closed with 6 and 6 elims. Clean end to the day. After 6 games, Alex and Reckless led on with 345 points. 1 win, 33 total elims, averaging a 9.83 placement across the day. Phasma and Crusades 2nd with 324 points, but with 2 wins. But those last 2 games cost them badly. Vazen and Bulldogs in 3rd on 323 points, also with 2 wins, averaging 8.33 placement. Quietly one of the most consistent teams on day 1. Resigns and Tinker are at 6th place with 266 points, but 0 wins. But they had 3.33 average eliminations per game, always in the fight. 22 points between 1st and 3rd going in the day 2. Before we get into game 2, there are some things that came out during the event that the community needs to know about. Crusades posted some Discord screenshots publicly during the tournament. The screenshots show a group chat with River4251 and Protoon with Reckless added in. In the chat, Protoon messages Reckless saying they want to be paid again for their next target. River then adds another player to the group. Shortly after, Protoon removes Reckless from the group. A minute later, Crusades posted it with the caption, "Do with this information as you will. They act innocent. These are all allegations." Screenshots are out there, but no official ruling has been made. But it is out there, and the community has seen it. On top of that, Vazen posted after the tournament that he got swatted 3 times during the tournament. 3 times while competing for a LAN qualification spot and $12,000. But he still finished in second. Day 2 opened with Alex and Reckless picking up straight where they left off. Game 7, they won it again. First place. 10 elims, 21 minutes, and 58 seconds alive. They extended the lead to the top immediately. Phasma went 5th with 1 elim, a solid start to the day after collapse at the end of day 1. Vazen and Bulldogs also went 5th with 6 elims, both teams chasing Alex at the top. After 7 games, Alex and Reckless sat on 373 points at the halfway point of day 2. Phasma went 5th with 1 elim, a solid start to the day after the collapse at the end of day 1. Vazen and Bulldogs also went 5th with 6 elims, both teams chasing Alex at the top. After 7 games, Alex and Reckless sat on 373 points at the halfway point of day 2. Vazen and Bulldogs secured 2nd on 370 points. Resides and Tinker 3rd on 305, 3 points between 1st and 2nd with 5 games still to go. Then, in Game 10, Crusades got buried. Protoon landed directly on him at their drop, full griefing them from the jump. Wokes and his team landed the same spot too. Crusades was dealing with 2 teams before he even had loot, and the game was done before it even started. You can draw your own conclusions about the timing given what Crusades has already publicly posted about Protoon. Phasma and Crusades finished 44th in Game 10, 2 minutes and 12 seconds alive, 0 elims. The same collapse pattern showing from day 1 again, at the worst possible time. Game 11, Protoon landed on Tinker's side of Battlewood, griefing their game. Straight off, Tinker was left with barely any loot, trying to make something out of nothing. Then, Demo and Minty found them, and they died off spawn. Resides and Tinker finished 47th, 3 minutes and 40 seconds alive. Nothing they could do about it. Honestly, Oatly is worth talking about across the full weekend. He started the event looking like a genuine threat, farming Wonkyland well, sitting at good positioning, playing the wheel rotation meta. Z-Dog and Oatly were putting up big damage numbers in the early game. But across day 1, dealing 1,474 damage to Protoon and River in one of the most one-sided early game exchanges of the day. Then, Umbuka and Rezox started catching rotates, and it cost them. Oatly finished 9th in the shotgun damage for the full event at 3,520. Z-Dog and Oatly ended up 12th overall with 350 points, with 41 total elims. There was more of these rotates held. Then, the final game. Going into Game 12, 2nd place overall was still being fought for. Vazen and Bulldogs needed a result to hold their position. Gerald went down. Vazen was alone, with Tinker and Resigns both still alive, and 2nd place in the grand finals was on the line. Vazen one-pumped Tinker, caught Resigns with a hard side jump hit and put them both down. Game 1, 2nd place lock. A 1v2 in the very last game of the tournament to close out the weekend. Looking at the full event numbers, Alex led every damage category across all 12 games. 11,694 total damage at a 2.05 ratio, nearly 2,500 ahead of 2nd place. 6,099 shotgun damage at a 2.12 ratio, with a 0.66 total elims. 6.60 KD, averaging 9.8 placement across 12 games. Reckless had a 0.86 shotgun ratio across the full event, which tells you everything you need to know about how that duo works. Alex was taking every fight and creating the space, while Reckless played behind him the whole time. It worked all weekend. Vazen and Bulldogs finished with 57 total elims and 3 wins across 12 games. Gerald 7th in damage, dealt 7,222 with the 1.70 ratio, and Vazen 7th in shotgun damage at 3,952. Resigns and Tinker finished with 43 total elims and 1 win. Tinker 2nd in shotgun damage for the full event at 4,698, and Resigns 7th in total damage at 7,258. That team was in fights every single game across both days. When the dust settled and the final standings looked like this: Alex and Reckless 718 points, 2 wins, 66 elims, and $16,000. Vazen and Bulldogs with 693 points, 3 wins, 57 elims, and $12,000. Resigns and Tinker 571 points, 1 win, 43 elims, $8,000. Phasma and Crusades 4th at 546. Kazi and Aspect on 5th, 490 points. Massimo and Tame 6th, 480 points. Alex and Reckless, Vazen and Bulldogs, Resigns and Tinker, all 3 going to Germany. That is the FNCS Major 1 Grand Finals done for OCE. Before we wrap up, there have been some big developments since this tournament ended that are really worth talking about. First, Crusades has taken down the tweet with the Discord screenshots. Whether that means anything is up for you to decide. Fortnite Competitive also dropped a competitive integrity rule update shortly after prohibiting any program or tool that has access to the real-time state of the game to gain a competitive advantage. Worth noting, given the weekend we just had. On top of that, Fortnite Competitive also announced some massive changes to the Summit lane itself. The event is getting bigger. 150 players are now heading to Dusseldorf instead of 100. The event runs 3 days instead of 2, and 15 teams now advance to the Global Championship, up from 5. So here's how the 3 days work. Friday, the 50th duos who qualified through Major 1, including our 3 OCE teams, play 6 games. The top 25 from that day advance directly to Sunday. Saturday, a brand new second chance qualifier bracket. Bottom 25 from Friday compete against the 25 duos who qualified through a brand new second chance qualifier event, running from April 28th to the 29th. The top 25 from Saturday advance to Sunday. The top 25 from Friday and the top 25 from Saturday go head to head. And the last day, a champion gets crowned. For OCE specifically, 2 duos can qualify through the second chance qualifier on April 28th and 29th. All Division 1 players are eligible, except teams that have already qualified through Major 1, which means Phasma and Crusades, Kazi and Aspect, 2 of the best teams in OCE who miss out on qualification this weekend, both have another shot at getting to Germany. Both are proven teams. Phasma and Crusades won back-to-back games to open the grand finals. Kazi and Aspect finished 5th overall across 12 games. The talent is there. Who do you think is going to punch through the second chance to make it to Dusseldorf? Drop it in the comments below. We really want to know.